Matthew Gibbon has been a supporter of the Scottish national rugby team for as long as he can remember. As a schoolboy, he was crazy about the sport, but he became more and more obsessed with it. He now reckons that he devotes about 30 hours a week to training, playing or watching games. It was a colleague at work who first suggested that Charlotte Pullman should give paintballing a try. Charlotte quickly got a taste for it and now spends every weekend running around with a paint gun in her hand. It's a great way of meeting people, she says, and it also takes my mind off work. As a teenager, Greg Schultz and his friends were all big fans of Star Trek. But Greg's interest turned into a passion. Greg got the Trekkie bug in a big way and became a real aficionado, setting up his own website and organizing annual conventions. Tony O'Neill was always keen on ghost stories, but decided to take up ghost hunting after watching a TV documentary about it. Once you are into it, there is no turning back, says Tony, who has spent over £30,000 on the specialized equipment he needs. I wouldn't call it a hobby, he says. It's more a way of life. People write such strange things on their CVs that it's tempting to believe that they don't want the job at all. What, for example, was going through the mind of the applicant who wrote that his previous contract had been terminated because they insisted that we get to work by 8:45 every morning and couldn't work under these conditions. Or the candidate who described himself as married, 8 children, would prefer frequent travel. And let's not forget the typos, people who are proud of their rabbit typing or who announce that they were responsible for ruining their company's sales department. But the most revealing part of a CV is often the personal interest section. Job seekers need to make their application stand out, so there is little point in saying that you are into pop music, that you are going to the cinema, or that you have been a supporter of your local football club for 10 years. And if you are thinking of putting down something more original, think carefully. The fact that you have a passion for rock climbing and have been training for the World Championships may be of central importance in your life, but prospective employers are more likely to think, dangerous, injuries, absences. Most bosses would rather their employees didn't risk their lives every weekend. A recent survey has shown that 1 in 4 CVs contain a lie of some kind, but resist the temptation to invent an interesting background for yourself. If at the interview you are asked questions about your voluntary work with those with special needs, you could find yourself in deep water if you made it all up. Even the truth, however well-meaning, can be dangerous. One job applicant, who was obviously trying to make a good impression, swore that she had taken up blood donating. 14 gallons so far. Weird. The simple rule to remember is that you are applying for a job, so only include personal interests that are relevant to the application. Do your research carefully and identify what personal qualities are being looked for. Only decide what to write when you have found out what the job involves. And if you can think of nothing relevant to say, just say nothing at all.